lovely.
Yeah, for them. I'll barely see the sun before I'm on a plane back home, but they're very excited. Can I get a cappuccino with no chocolate?
Sure. Have you had the chat yet with Joni?
No, have you?
No, I think I'm avoiding it, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at tips online, and it says the best way to come across is be really relaxed and no eye contact.
Isn't that what they say about meeting gorillas?
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
Hello and welcome to episode 418 of The Talk of the Street, an unofficial Coronation Street catch-up podcast that didn't die on a horse island last week. I'm Gavin.
And I can't believe it's already been nearly a week since we got home.
A week?
A week. It seemed like that week went on forever, which was nice.
It was a long week that we were off.
And then this week went like that.
Like what?
That.
Wow.
Time flies when you're photographing fur coats and sausage makers.
That sounds vaguely dirty. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. Found out this week I'm a mutant, so that's fun. And also apparently allergic to horses.
Which was hilarious because we went to a horse island and
We did.
didn't die.
Yes,
We nearly died.
we didn't. But it was...
It's not much of a story to say that we went to a horse island and we didn't nearly die. That's not a great story.
Just so we could see wild horses.
We did get lost. I was half expecting to find a bearded Scottish man down a hatch keying in numbers into a computer, but that didn't happen either.
That did not happen.
Add
No.
that to the list of things that didn't happen
But
on this horse island.
The trails are not very well delineated on Horse Island, which is not really called Horse Island.
No, I can't remember what it was called.
Shackleford
Banks.
Shackleford Banks, yes.
Off the coast of Wilmington, in North Carolina.
Yes.
Was it Wilmington?
No, we were staying in Wilmington. Yeah, Beaufort, yeah.
Off the coast of Beaufort.
So, well, that was really nice because we had to take a boat there.
Which I hate.
And then we went to see horses.
Which I hate.
Yes, and also during this vacation.
We went hiking, which I hate.
And we went into a cave.
Which I love. Oh no, I hate.
And then we explored the USS North Carolina. Another boat with...
Horribly confined spaces. Oh, not too bad, actually.
Oh, and we went antiquing.
Yeah. It's my birthday in a couple of weeks, isn't it?
Yes.
Let's not do any of those things.
No, because, you did those things that you hate because you love me.
That's right.
Yes. And that's very sweet. And I love telling people that. Gav did all these things that terrify him because he loves me.
I'm less terrified of horses now than I was.
Right.
I just don't trust them. Like, you can't trust a horse like you can trust a cow, for example.
You can't trust cows.
Of course you can trust cows.
Cows murder people.
When we saw the horse, or the first horse that because these are wild horses that roam this island.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be...
7 miles long, half a mile wide. You're supposed to stay 50 feet away from them. We turned around a corner of a hedge and fucking hell, there was a big old horse just standing there minding its own business.
In the trail.
And I said to you, how can you tell if they're pissed off? Because this looked like an angry horse to me.
You can, if their ears are back, if they flip their ears down like this, they're pissed off. And it didn't appear that any of those horses were pissed off. He did seem like he was trolling us, just standing in the trail saying, nope, you shall not pass. And here is my ass.
So we walked round the horse, and that's pretty much the start of how we got lost.
Yes. But we got lost and saw 2 more wild horses, so it was worth it.
It was a frenzy of horses.
And then we stepped on some horrible teeny tiny cacti, which are horrible.
So many times. That happened so many times.
They're like pebbles, so you don't even notice them until they're sticking in your ankle.
And then sometimes you don't notice until you look down and you see it. And then you try and pull it out, and then your fingers are covered in the spines.
Yeah.
Oh, what a nightmare. Never go walking. A lesson for us all. Never go walking.
On an island with wild horses.
Anyway,
Did you have fun on our vacation?
I did have a great time.
Good.
I think we learned, though, that we need a base to operate out of rather than doing our little tour, which we did, where we were like a day here, 3 days there, a day there. We weren't living out of our suitcases quite so much. But,
Yes, thank goodness.
But I think as well, it was just the heat and the humidity was just really
Yeah.
killing me on this trip. But
Plus-
I still thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Plus, we're old.
And we're just getting fucking old.
Yeah. Because I'm 50 now.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Vicky Myers is also 50.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe that either.
No.
I couldn't believe it when we talked about it on Corrie News a couple of months ago, and I still don't believe it.
Well, it's true.
Yeah, I know. She looks great. She looks great for any age, but especially 50. When I look at myself and I look at Vicky, I say, well,
It's a great little conversation you've got going with yourself.
yeah.
Tell me how that ends. All right. Shall we preamble, my dear?
Yes, please.
Give us some of that. Oh, and before we preamble, thanks to the friends of the podcast who financed a fair chunk of our vacation.
Yes.
It's very much appreciated.
Lots of coffees.
So many coffees.
So many coffees.
All right, let's preamble, my dear. Give us some of that back to the grindstone, Corrie News.
Rob Mallard and Katie McGlynn have reunited via Instagram. Rob planting a wee peck on Katie's pow. So that's nice. Daniel and Sinead back together.
She's dead.
Well, the character is dead, but Katie McGlynn is still very much alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So that's nice.
What was this for?
I
Just
don't-
cause?
Just cause, I
You
think.
didn't read it. You just saw it.
No, I read it,
Oh,
and
you
it
did?
didn't say. I think it was just like they were hanging out as friends.
Great.
Moving on. It's just nice to see the two of them together. It's like, ah,
Coming up, friends meet. Now sport.
soccer rears its ugly head once again. So there was
Fuck's sake.
no Corrie tonight. We get another Sunday episode, and no Corrie next Wednesday.
It's not even important football. It's English League Cup football.
Well, I'm sure
Who gives a shit about that?
I'm sure lots of English people do.
Wasn't it like something like Wrexham versus Lincoln or something?
Well, Wrexham's very important.
It wasn't. It's not important, but it
It
wasn't.
is because Ryan Reynolds owns it.
That doesn't make it important.
Yes, it does.
But it wasn't like it was Man United versus another team like Man United. I could be wrong about that. I frequently am.
Yes. It would just be nice, if they could all get along. And apparently in the article that I read, like, there were these really kind of lame excuses as to why they don't put this football on ITV 3 or 4
Well,
as opposed to...
put Corrie on ITV too, and everybody's happy
Yeah. Apparently they just don't want to do that because they're assholes.
because they're assholes.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I don't think this was something that was widely known beforehand.
I didn't know it beforehand.
And I check the schedule every week. Mm-hmm. Because if I'd known that, I wouldn't have got up at 5:15 this morning.
Oh, well.
I got an hour of Factorio in, so
There you go.
It
It's
all
not-
worked out.
Not wasted necessarily. And finally, Vicky Myers is secretly engaged to her partner, whose name nobody seems to know.
Secretly,
And there are no pictures. Apparently she was like dealing with some troll who was like, "Oh, we never get to see your boyfriend, blah 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 blah." And she responded by saying, "Actually, he's my fiance." But no, you're still not going to get to know his name or anything about him.
not quite right.
Yeah. Doesn't have her relationship at all on the socials or anything. So more power to her.
I wonder if
I have you all over my socials because look at that face.
I'm on your socials more than I'm on my socials.
Yes. Because I like to take lots of pictures of your backside while we're on vacation.
I wonder if this sort of thing is the stingy end of fame. I wonder how this rankles with people like Vicky Myers, who went from being a sort of tertiary character to being a very much front and centre main character very
Right.
quickly, and you don't really sort of get an awful lot of time to adjust to that. But
Right. Yeah, remember when Sarah just wanted to go and get groceries and she was papped?
she was popped.
She was papped. And that is Corrie News.
With the use of pap as a verb, that brings us to the end of Corrie News and brings us to the similarly vocabulary testing section of the podcast that I like to call Everyone's a Critic. Jonathan writes, as a long-time viewer of Corrie, I appreciate your critical consideration of the show.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Which, whilst it occasionally makes me smile or even titter, the show that is, it has never reached the heights of hilarious.
Oh,
Hilarious in inverted commas. Hearing you use it so often, I thought I'd check the transcripts for your use of the word. You can now see from the following analysis that May the 22nd was a real high point with 14 uses of the word hilarious. I trust you heard your shout out for the London compilation on No Such Thing as a Fish. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Jonathan.
thank you. Wait, is there such thing as a fish?
No Such Thing as a Fish is a podcast with, I think, some, if not all, of the QI elves, the QI researchers,
Oh, okay.
and they just talk about interesting things,
Ah,
basically, like QI does, and
right.
our Corrie London got a mention in their latest show.
Oh, did they
No,
mention us?
no, they never
No.
do, Helen.
They just
and
mentioned.
you always ask.
They just mentioned the work that we did. We don't even need AI to steal our work because other people steal it all the time.
Well, this isn't really stealing; it's just referring to it.
Right? Yes, but not giving us credit for something that we created. And by we, I mean you.
So Jonathan has done some analysis on the number of times we say hilarious. Going back to April the 24th when we said it 4 times. May the 1st 8 times. May the 8th we didn't say it at all, which in itself is hilarious. May the 15th twice. May the 22nd 14 times.
I don't remember ever saying the word hilarious.
You say hilarious quite a bit.
Do
I'm blaming you for most of it. June the 5th 12. June the 12th 6. June the 19th 2. June the 26th 8. July the 3rd 4. And July the 10th 4. Which averages, I think, about 7 or so every episode. Sometimes I
That's
think
hilarious.
it's sometimes I think it's sarcastic.
I think a lot of times it's sarcastic.
We do say though, if something funny happens on, we kind of up it to hilarious. It is now a crutch word that I will keep a note of when I'm editing, and I'll get right rid of them.
No, keep
Nothing
them.
will be hilarious. Everything will be fucking serious from now on. But thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate the analysis. It's something that probably I would do as well. Mm-hmm. Wendy writes,
Nerd.
Wendy writes, Ross's story is garbage. I don't think anyone in Tyrone's family or Tracy's family would trust this dude, and we will get into this, I think, because this is my main complaint about all of that stuff.
Right.
Also, after the whole grooming story where the victim was a young male, we are supposed to believe that after Cassie told her story that she was 15 when Ross got pregnant, she's not a victim. Ross is cool because she looked older. Where's Tim? Tim learned nothing about the underage sexual abuse. What a mess. Hope you had a great vacation. Thank you very much, we did. Better than getting agitated watching this crap. You didn't watch it at all while we were away.
I didn't, and I still haven't watched that week. I'm just
You really
like,
missed nothing.
it's self-care.
Then Fraggle Shock writes,
Fraggle Shock? Mm-hmm. I love that.
wow, someone remembered that Tracy committed premeditated murder. Yes, they did.
Yes, and that doesn't seem to be putting Ross off at all, which leads me to a disturbing conclusion.
Do you want to hold on to that disturbing conclusion, or do you want to share it with us?
I will talk about it when we get there.
Okay. Then Cheeky writes, Cheeky is not happy.
Oh,
Cheeky writes, I honestly think the last 2 weeks of Coronation Street have been an absolute disaster. Mm-hmm. The Cassie storyline is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen on the show. Ross turns up out of nowhere, spends what feels like 5 minutes with the family, admits that he caused the entire situation, and somehow everyone decides that Cassie is the villain. Then Jodie walks into the Platt house with a gun, and I don't care if it was fake, no one else knew it was fake. There's a newborn baby in that house. In any believable world, she'd never be allowed through that front door again. Instead, everyone just carries on. It's beyond stupid. Then Lauren assaults Dylan because she sees him as another version of Joel, gives him a concussion, abandons Betsy despite knowing that she's recovering from a stroke, and somehow the show just barrels on as if we're all supposed to accept it. Actions are supposed to have consequences, not to disappear by the next episode. What frustrates me most is that none of this feels like Coronation Street. It feels like characters being sacrificed so the writers can manufacture drama. I sincerely hope this is rock bottom, because if this is the standard going forward, Coronation Street has a much bigger problem than a few bad storylines. Well, I agree with quite a bit of that. It
Yeah.
has been a tough couple of weeks.
Although I would say that Lauren did get her comeuppance for leaving Betsy like that. She should be getting her comeuppance for assaulting Dylan, but I will let that go because it seems that she has learned her lesson and is not going to be such a dick about things.
There's something else there, though, that I think the show has missed, and we'll talk about it when we get to it.
Okay.
Thank you to Chicky, to Fraggle Shock, to Wendy, and to Jonathan for their feedback
Down
this
in
week.
Fraggle Shock. Doo-doom.
Brilliant. Very much appreciated. Feedback's always welcome. Send us your thoughts and I'll probably read them out. Get us at thetalkofthestreet@gmail.com, or our DMs are open at Corrie Podcast. So we love it when people write actual letters to us. Send us your proper mail to the Talk of the Street, PO Box 12, Eaton Rapids, Michigan 48827. And now let's podcast for coffee.
Huzzah!
Friend of the podcast.
Welcome to Williams Fan 1982,
Oh,
who signs up to be a friend of the podcast on
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah.
That's right. It's the third YouTube. We had one for like a year. We had another one a couple of weeks ago, and then we got another one. Then we got three. It's like a merry band of YouTube subscribers.
Yeah. How nice is that?
Thank you very much, Williams Fan 1982.
Yes. We can go on vacation again.
Well, give it a month or two.
Friend of the podcast.
Man, we should go away more often.
I know. I've just stopped doing the podcast. It's Schrodinger's friend of the podcast.
Right, yeah. Stop doing the regular podcast. Keep doing classic Corrie and
No, just stop everything. Welcome to Sarah J.
Oh, nice.
Sarah J signs up on?
Patreon.
Correct. It's almost like you were interested and looked into this, which I know you didn't.
No.
Welcome, Sarah J, who writes, I'm Sarah from Scotland and I've been listening for just over a year. I took a break from Corrie for a while after my son was born and now very far behind. Currently catching up from July last year, and I've been listening to the podcast alongside this. If you would like the Talk of the Street recap, you have just announced a classic Corrie spoiler alert feature on Patreon, so happy birthday to those features, assuming they're still running in the future, which they are.
Yes, they are.
Hopefully I will manage to catch up enough to listen in real time one day. Thanks for all the smiles. I listen every day on my way to and from work.
Oh, that's so nice.
Isn't it lovely?
Yes.
So thank you to Sarah J and to Williams Fan 1982.
Yes. Williams Fan 1982 sounds like a YouTube handle.
It does a little bit.
And Sarah J sounds more like a Patreon. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We are very grateful for
And
all
all-
of our friends.
And also thanks to Amy, who bought us our coffees this week.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
what do you mean, yes?
Yes. That's what she did. She bought our coffees this week, even though I'm drinking cranberry juice and you have a Coca-Cola?
Nope, I have a
Oh,
Pepsi.
Pepsi. Cherry Pepsi.
We went to the Coca-Cola,
The world,
of
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola in Atlanta, and
Yeah.
it's the worst museum. It's not even a museum, it's just how great is our branding.
Yeah,
And
there's
here I am drinking Pepsi.
there was some like history and stuff in there.
A little.
And then we got to sample Coca-Cola products from around the world. And
It's a Japanese Fanta.
my My coworker in the Philippines, I sent him a picture of that royal watermelon that we tried from the Philippines, and he said that it is, in fact, a very popular drink in the Philippines. So
There you go.
there we go.
We learned something.
It was yummy, unlike
Sort of.
the plum soda from China.
Oh. Amy writes, I skipped ahead a few episodes and was delighted to hear Gavin read my message. I was picking wild blueberries at a cottage in the Canadian Shield and thought I must buy them a coffee.
Aw,
Thank you very much.
thank you. You can send us blueberries too if you want.
Please note the heavily coded subliminal Ontario travel messaging. Bienvenue. Thank you very much, Amy, for our coffees. Again, very much appreciated.
Yes, thank you. That reminds me of the picture book Blueberries for Sal, which I'm sure she's read.
It reminds me of the blueberries I had at lunchtime.
Oh.
So if you want to buy us next week's coffee, or if you want to sign up to be a friend of the podcast, head on over to corriepodcast.com, click on support the pod, and all the details are there, Helen. I'm not going to go through them all.
Sure.
But the classics this month is episode 1435 from October 16, 1974. This is Mallorca Part 2, and that just went live last week, I think.
It went live on
August 1st.
Friday. Friday was August 1st, right? Saturday was August 1st. Yeah.
So yeah, so that's still fairly fresh. All right, shall we dive in, Medea?
Yes, please.
We've got a lot of catching up to do, and I have a new noise.
Oh, no.
I'm not going to use it immediately, but listen out for the new noise. Let's
You know,
talk.
you know what? We should make a button for the be-do and boop, boop.
You
for-
should definitely do that.
You're the one with the box.
I just need a wav. Just give me a wav, and I'll sort it out.
I don't know how to get you a WAV. Is that just like a voice message?
No, it's a format like an MP3.
Yeah, well, how do I create one?
I think that's outside the scope of this Coronation Street podcast. Let's dive in and start with the vacation week catch-up then. We'll quickly go through the episodes that I saw while we were on vacation and you didn't.
No.
And we didn't podcast about.
Right, yep.
So Sam gets discharged from hospital and finds Idris's laptop at Leanne's. So Leanne's got to come clean about whose laptop that is. Sam and Idris meet up and get on famously, despite Nick getting sand in his vagina about it all. Idris considers buying Alia out of the speed dial, but is distracted by Abby's lawsuit that is gaining pace. He gets Brody to beat up the old landlord and then manages to pay off Abby with $5,000 that he extorts. Thanks to the beating, I assume Abby accepts when Alia warns her that $5,000 in the pocket is better than fuck all if it goes to trial, and this pisses off Adam. So the lawsuit is settled by Abby accepting the $5,000 offer. And pointless family revelation.
Was it really
news,
only $5,000?
Mm-hmm.
That is nothing.
the way that it went was Idris said, are you going to take the $5,000? And Abby said, I want more. And Idris said, that's all I'm going to offer you. And Abby said, fine. That's honestly almost verbatim how it went.
Unreal.
In pointless family revelation news, it turns out that Idris is actually Alia's uncle, as his mother got her whole off of Yasmin's now dead husband, not Tim's dad.
Wait. Yes, because Yasmin was her grandmother. Okay, yes. I was going to say, wouldn't that make him brother or something? But no, no.
I've no idea what any of this has got to do with anything. It proves that Sharif was unfaithful.
Which we already knew.
So Idris being Alia's cousin or being Alia's uncle.
I don't
It's
think.
like
6
so
and 2
what?
threes, isn't it?
Ollie starts working at Speed Dial, which pisses off Ben, who accuses him of working for the competition, and Ollie correctly points out that the Rovers don't do curries or onion badges, and then Idris tells Ben to fuck off out of the kitchen.
Right. And also, Speed Dial doesn't sell alcohol. So
Right.
there is no competition between those two places.
But that was the end of that, and it hasn't cropped up again
No.
since. Harper gets home. Kit tells David and Shona about Jodie twatting Sarah over the head and about the trinket box. Shona confronts Jodie and chucks her out. Lily finds the box under the sofa and then finds the gun that she got from the whole Carol wheel arch malarkey. Finds that gun in it. Jodie comes back after telling Shona that she handed herself in and will be up in court for the assault, which nobody really reacts to, and I wasn't sure if she was being truthful or not, but she got a letter later in the week that I think confirmed it. Lolly confronts Jodie about the gun, and Jodie says it was a replica. Lolly doesn't believe her, so tells David, but by the time David can quiz Jodie about it, the real gun has been moved and replaced by a replica. And after a brief moment where it looked like Jodie was going to shoot David and Shona, all is forgiven, more or less.
That's stupid.
Yeah, she took the gun from the trinket box and put it on top of the cupboard in the kitchen.
You would think that Lily would have taken the gun with her to show David.
And would have told her immediately.
Yeah.
Would have told him immediately, yeah.
Yeah. Before she could, magic a replica gun? Mm-hmm. Where did she find that at?
She just buy a replica gun from someplace.
Yeah. There's no place to buy a replica gun on the street, and she had to think on her feet and do it, right away, right?
No, she had time. Lily still thinks the gun was real until Jodie sticks up for Lily and Harry against some bullies. Secretly, Jodie is posting as Shona on a new mums forum.
Yep.
Betsy's still struggling with her speech therapy and is upset when she thinks she's been discharged too soon. She gets back on the street on the day that Sally's new pizza oven has arrived, and she's having a garden party next door with the ladies what lunch. Swain tells Carla to tell Sally and the ladies what lunch to keep the noise down because Betsy's home.
I don't think the noise really bothers Betsy. That seems...
Sally gives Carla some pizza to take back and says, yeah, I'll say to them, but, people are going to make a noise. It's the evening.
Right.
And it's her garden, so basically fuck off.
Yes. Here's some pizza.
So Carla takes the pizza back and says, Sally gave us some pizza. And Swain says, but Betsy can't eat pizza.
Why can't Betsy eat pizza?
She can't eat solids like that. She can't chew.
Oh, that's right. So they can make a pizza smoothie for her.
I don't know if you're exactly getting the point of this, though. The first thing that Swain says is, well, Betsy can't eat a pizza. Well, maybe the pizza isn't for Betsy, Swain. Maybe that's
for
an
you
option.
And Carla.
So Carla slams
Ryan.
it down and tells people to
Fuck
help
off.
themselves. Swain says, am I being overbearing mum again a little bit? And everyone
Yes.
says yes.
She can't help it.
At the garden party, Debbie mistakes Tim for being a paedophile and has to have it explained that Tim is actually Sally's husband. Debbie's mortified by this and swears off the booze because she knows that it's making her worse.
Yes.
Asha has another couple of dates with Sienna and gets her whole, but she keeps making secret escapes, does our Sienna. Then Nina's tip envelope goes missing because at Nina's rolls apparently people tip.
I've never seen anybody tip in Nina's rolls.
No. Nina and Asha accuse Sienna, who tells them both to suck on her balls, one each, and then later Nina finds the envelope.
I thought it was her pay packet. Did they say
No,
tip?
it's her tip. It's her gratuities is what Roy calls it.
Right, yeah.
It's not her salary.
Have you seen a tip jar in Roy's rolls or Nina's rolls?
I think I might have seen it once, but I've never seen anyone put anything in it.
No.
And
And
certainly not
most
enough
people-
that you'd get pissed off about that it's gone missing.
Most people don't pay with cash, so, you wouldn't really have a packet.
It's amazing that this is the thing that's going to break that suspension of disbelief is that people in Nina's rolls tip. So it's actually Asha that finds the envelope and it's stuffed into a drawer. And Nina's like, oh, right. Asha tells Nina to get a fucking life
Yeah.
because she's acting like a jealous ex. Cassie's leaving, so we need to speed up her departure. She posts on her Rate My Boyfriend site about Ross and finds one of his exes, but stupidly she talks about this in public, and Ross overhears and manages to threaten the ex to say that Ross is a bang-up bloke. Everyone thinks that Cassie's jealous and evil, and that only gets worse when she spikes Ross's smoothie with Tyrone's heavy-duty painkillers. But Ross sees her do it, ups the dosage, and then gives the smoothie to Tracy, who ends up in hospital. Everyone is brilliant at deducing Cassie's involvement via the smoothie, and she admits that she was only trying to get Ross to fail his drugs test at his new job at Wedding Nick, and she said it was only a couple of tablets, but everyone has had enough of Cassie, and Tyrone throws her out. Steve slams the door in her face.
In fairness, she has form. She nearly killed Ken.
She has poisoned, and she will poison again.
Well, I don't think she will.
Oh, she has. This is what she did.
Oh.
She's trying to poison Ross.
Yeah. I don't think she will be doing that anymore, though.
No.
No.
There's a fair chance that Cassie might be dead.
Yes.
But anyway,
She has said that she's finished filming, so
She's definitely out of it.
Yeah.
How out of it? Begin to speculate after we've talked about the first storyline of this week,
Yes.
Taxi for Cassie. So on Monday, Cassie wakes up at number 6 on the couch. Tim found her
Hungover.
Tim found her passed out in the cab office next to a bottle of whiskey, and he cleverly put 2 and 2 together. Mm-hmm. Cassie is resigned to leaving as she tells Tim everything, and his advice is for her to go and grovel for forgiveness. And the Cassie that he knows wouldn't give up quite so easily.
That's true.
Yeah. On her way to speak to Tyrone, Tracy threatens to grass her into the police considering she has form on the old poisoning malarkey. Cassie insists it was just a couple of tablets. And when she gets to Tyrone's, she tells him the same thing. It was a couple of tabs and there was plenty still left in the packet. But Tyrone doesn't give a shit here. Says that he's given her the benefit of the doubt too many times, but all things considered, he's decided to side with his pedo rapist dad that he barely knows. She can say goodbye to the kids, but then she absolutely must fuck off. But Tyrone doesn't even let her do that properly, and she's still in the middle of explaining to them that she's got a cleaning gig on the cruises that she's made up. I remember was it in the typed spoiler alert from last week that you mentioned this?
Yes. Where
Because I was like, where on earth did she get a job on the cruise? But she hasn't. She's just saying this to hoodwink the kids, basically. Hope isn't buying it, though. And
I mean, there's huge turnover, so I'm sure she could get a job on a cruise if she really wanted to.
Hope doesn't believe a word of Cassie's excuse and begs her not to leave, but Tyrone has her halfway out the door before Cassie can say anything else. On their own, Fizz gives Cassie an envelope of money and a photo of the kids. Cassie warns Fizz not to trust Ross as far as she can fucking throw him. In the cab office, Steve gets a text from Cassie wanting to say goodbye to him at the precinct. Tim helps Steve realise that Cassie is perfect for him despite her penchant for poisoning, so he goes off to see her.
Tracy killed a man.
But notably doesn't text back to confirm this. Yeah.
Tracy killed a man. Cassie's not killed anyone that we know of.
Yet, right.
Tracy's not a good person either. And nobody even bats an eye about the whole killed a man
No.
bit. Men still date her.
That's a confident man that goes to sleep next to Tracy Barlow.
Yes, exactly.
Tim's very, very much plays the therapist role a few times in this week's Corrie. It's something, the old Father Tim
Yes.
thing that we spotted. He was the father to the
Right.
street a few weeks and months ago. And
Yes.
I'm glad that they're continuing this because it's a side of Tim that I quite enjoy.
Oh, don't worry. It will go downhill next week.
Oh. At the precinct, Ross drives up and offers to give Cassie a ride to the station, and when she tells him to go fuck himself, he tells her the cops are looking for her because Tracy's grassed her up. So she gets in the car and he drives off.
Dumb.
Just as Steve arrives and sees this, he shouts after her, but it's too late. In the car, Ross admits that he put the extra drugs in the smoothie. Drugged your own girlfriend, says Cassie. I wonder what the cops would think about this. But Ross doesn't think anyone would believe old, skanky, junky prosy over a squaddy. Maybe they'd like to know how much you like fucking underage girls then, she says. And he goes into a rage, and she tries to leave, but he has the child lock on the passenger door, so
Yeah.
she's stuck.
Cassie, shut up.
We're going for a wee drive, snarls Ross. Later, Tracy's at Tyrone's to tell him that she won't be pressing charges because Ross talked her out of it, and speak of the devil, Ross appears, and he's surprised to learn that Cassie has left town. Fizz eyes Ross suspiciously as he and Tracy leave, with Ross taking a sneaky wee peek at the same photo of the kids that Fizz gave Cassie earlier.
Yep.
Dum dum dum.
Yep.
Just in case we haven't got it,
Right. Yeah.
he'll stand in the hallway of a house that he doesn't live in,
Right.
while his current girlfriend is a few feet in front of him, and take this photograph, this incriminating photograph, out
Yes.
of his pocket to look at it and hold it to the camera so the camera can see it properly,
Right.
and put it back in his pocket. I'm glad that he did that. So that's Cassie out of it at this point.
Yes.
And what a dreadful way for her to go out. And all this is Hope's fault. Isn't it?
I mean, yes, but she was well-meaning. She was just wanting to find her dad's dad.
The road to hell is paved in good intentions, isn't it?
It's true. That's true. A phrase that we will use again next week.
Oh. Teasing the spoiler alert.
Just a little.
Just a little bit.
Just a little taste.
This whole thing is so unbelievable.
Yeah.
For a start, even before Cassie leaves and before Cassie tries to poison anyone, are we really going to believe that Tracy and Ross go together?
Well, doesn't Tracy says something about...
She calls him an
About
alpha
that.
male,
Well, and she also says that, they're two peas in a pod.
and he's a real man.
That Tommy O was fun and pretty, but Ross understands her dark side.
Look at the two of them.
Tracy claims she could get anybody she wants, man or woman. I don't think that's necessarily true anymore for the character.
I don't think so. I don't know that that's
And it
been the case
seems-
for a while.
And it seems like everybody kind of rolls their eyes when she says things like this. So, slim pickings.
It is slim pickings, but
Slim
seeing the two of them
pickings.
together, I'm like, no, I just don't.
I don't see it.
I mean, Steve and Tracy had decades of history,
Right, and chemistry.
which makes that work. And Tracy with Tommy O, yeah, I could believe that as well. An
Yes.
Asian footballer, yeah, I get that. The two of them, though, it's just none of it. It just doesn't make sense.
It's like it's a Family Guy or the Flintstones, pretty wife, not so pretty husband, who's kind of rotund and not very smart and grunts a lot.
I don't know that Ross is stupid. I also don't know that his hair is authentic. Tries to escape later on in the week. Nearly makes it as well. So there's that side of it. But then you've got the far more dark and troubling side of it, which is, despite the fact that Tyrone was on Cassie's side and believed her when he learned about Ross's history
Right.
with her, and he was mad at Ross about it,
Right,
he's quickly done a 180 on this.
right.
And despite the fact that he knows, and Ross has admitted to, sleeping
With an underage girl.
with a 15-year-old girl who, while Tyrone was in the room, he might not have said it, but someone said it, that's Hope's age. He's still on Ross's side,
Is Hope really 15? She doesn't look 15.
and she's 15 in real life as well.
That's crazy.
Tyrone is still on his side, knowing that
Which makes no sense.
essentially Ross raped Cassie when she was 15.
No, there's no essentially about it. He did. He literally did it. Yeah. And he's like, well, you got the money. And it's like, no, she didn't get the money. Her boyfriend at the time who was pimping her out got the money. So I don't know what sort of validation you need here, Ross. But yes, the whole Tyrone thing just really frustrates me because in the very beginning, he was like, nah, I don't want to have anything to do with you. And then he invites him to play golf, something that Tyrone does not do.
And which they don't do because his back goes out.
Right. But it's like overnight, he falls hook, line, and sinker for this guy and believes him entirely and is
And forgives him.
you know who is missing from all of this equation, which would make this storyline so much better?
Yeah, Evelyn, of course.
Yes. Where the hell is she?
That's my third thing.
She should be here to fix this because she would. And I really would like to hear her give Ross a talking to because she would trim his beard down to size with her words.
It's like Claire Sweeney said, I don't want to do this anymore. And the show said, fair enough, let's see how quickly we can get you out. And that answer, apparently, is about 3 weeks. That's as long as it takes. Now, that's not quite Yasmin's speed of Yasmin waking up and deciding that she wants to go and work for a charity in London.
London!
But it's still fairly quick.
Yes, it is.
And it requires us to
Suspend
just watch characters.
misbelief all over the
completely
place.
changed their moral outlook on life.
Right, yeah. Although Fizz, I love Fizz this week.
I love Fizz. We'll get to Fizz. Let's continue.
Good job, Fizz.
So on Tuesday, Tyrone and his rapist pedo dad are getting on like a house on fire while Fizz cautiously monitors their patter. Ross claims to have been looking for a place to live nearby, but they're all so expensive, he says, and lets that hang. Tyrone motions to Fizz that maybe he could live here with his underage daughters. I mean, it's like, for fuck's sake.
For fuck's sake, Tyrone.
Tyrone suggests that he tries Kev because Kev has room for pedos. And they all go to the pub later, where Tyrone confirms that Kev has got a room to spare.
Yes, we don't ever see Kev, though.
No. He's going to put up this guy that he doesn't know? Really? Just because it's Tyrone's dad? Who raped Cassie? Sure.
Isn't Abby still living there with Kev? Didn't she move back in because of the mold thing?
She did. I don't know if she's still there, though.
Because if she's still there, she is not going to fucking deal with this man.
No. Steve quizzes Ross on where he dropped Cassie off. I never dropped her anywhere, says Ross as his hair tries to escape. I saw her getting at your car, says Steve. And Ross blurts out that he dropped her at the train station and then buys everyone a drink to distract.
Yeah.
Privately, though, Fizz makes it known that she didn't miss what happened there, and she accuses Ross of lying to Steve. He tries to deny it, but she heard what she heard and she won't be dissuaded. And she wonders why he acted so surprised then yesterday to learn that Cassie had left. She warns him that if he puts a foot out of line, she'll kick his rapist ass back to Warrington before he knows what hit him.
Good
Thank
job,
you, Fizz.
Fizz.
On Thursday then, Ruby is down in the dumps because she misses Granny Cass, and so does Hope. Tyrone, eating his toast though, has a dad who has a history of raping young girls, Hope's age, so he's as happy as a pig in shit and doesn't miss Cassie one little bit. At the pub, Tracy also doesn't seem to care that she's dating a paedophile and has draped herself all over Ross and seems to want to get her hole with him while he's wearing his prison guard uniform. And given her history, this is even more disturbing.
Oh.
Fizz and Tyrone.
Yeah, because it kind of insinuates that she has form for being in prison and having sex with guards.
It's all very 1970s exploitation movie, isn't it?
Yes.
Fizz and Tyrone don't know where to look, and when Tracy nips off for a shite or a quick footer in the bathroom, Fizz says as much to Ross. Later, Tracy and Tyrone are chatting about who his step-parents could be while at the bar. That was quite funny. Tyrone realises...
Tracy could be his stepmom.
And Steve could have been his stepdad if things had worked out.
Oh, yes, I think it was worked out with Cassie. Yes, okay.
At the bar, Fizz wants to know where Ross dropped Cassie off at. Ross is evasive and wants to know where the question is coming from, and she says, well, it's just weird that Cassie hasn't been in touch, and she doesn't press him. At home, though, she's concerned when yet another phone call to her mobile goes to Cassie's answering machine. Mm-hmm. And that's as far as we get with that this week.
Yes. So Cassie's dead, right?
I assume Cassie's dead.
I'm assuming Cassie is dead. That Ross has killed her.
How else would they get the photograph? She's not going to give it to him.
No. It's just really unfortunate that they didn't put any blood on that photograph.
Yeah, the camera lingered on it long enough, we'd have noticed.
Yes, we would have.
What a dreadful way to go out.
Yeah.
And I think Cassie Plummer has been fairly hit and miss for me.
Yeah. I did like her with Steve. I thought she worked really well with Steve.
The feud with Tracy was just a pain on everyone's tits, though, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, she became like Abby, you know, getting on and off the wagon over and over and over again for a while. And it's like, this is really boring. Can we please have her do something else?
This is it. And this is it exactly. They never gave her anything interesting to do. So
No.
the character really quickly stagnated.
Right. And
There's-
the relation, and, you know, the one interesting thing she had was her relationship to her mother. And then her mother's not around anymore. Not even for this storyline, which you'd think that they would have
Yeah, really weird.
really pushed and pulled to get her back on the show, at least for a couple days.
So yeah, I think overall you'd probably say it didn't quite work out,
Yeah.
and maybe it could have.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think she's probably dead. I saw some speculation online that we have at the end of another storyline, we have people looking for something at Gunpoint Docks or thereabouts and continued searching there might not find the MacGuffin that they're looking for and might instead find Cassie's body, which I wouldn't be surprised about.
I don't know. She was. They pulled over in the woods, so I'm imagining her body's in the woods. There were lots of trees that they were parked next to.
I don't think I would call that the woods.
It always feels a little bit icky when they kill people off, as opposed to going to London to work for a charity. It always kind of makes you wonder whose decision that was. I know Craig, he wanted to go out in a blaze of glory.
Right, and I think that makes it easier for the writers because they probably want somebody to die than just wander off and never come back, because it gives them a chance to do a dramatic storyline for them. So this at the moment is neither.
Yes.
She's not dead, but we don't know where she is.
Yeah, she's Schrodinger's Cassie at the moment.
She is. So that's the second Schrodinger's that we've got. It's not quite hilarious yet, but if we put in some work, it could be. All right. Let's move on to our next storyline, which is Asha's facilitating love interest. When is a love interest not a love interest? When your mother's got dementia. On Monday, Debbie is in Nina's Rolls when she sees a confused-looking old woman. Debbie asks if she's okay, and the old woman says that she's looking for her daughter, but when Debbie asks more, the woman tells Debbie to go fuck herself and wanders out. Later, Asha comes in and sees Sienna, but Sienna doesn't want to chat after being accused of theft, stealing Nina's tips. All 55 pence of them. And surprisingly, when Asha says it's okay the money was found, that doesn't do much to melt Sienna's mood, who says that she's got enough going on in her life right now without this pish. Debbie comes over and says, "Hey guys, make love, not war, okay?" And when she leaves, she sees the confused woman standing in the middle of the street, and she gives Debbie some more abuse when she asks if she's okay. And then Sienna comes out and says, "Mum, this is Sienna's mum, who will learn from the credits, and one line of dialogue is called Sadie. Reacts like Sienna is a stranger, says that she's looking for her daughter, and says that she hates her daughter, and she fights Sienna when she tries to put an arm around her. Debbie is shocked, and when Asha comes out and tries to help, she's told to mind her own business. Back in the cafe, Asha mentions how violent Sienna's mum was, and she should probably be in a home or something, and then she remembers Debbie standing right next to her and apologises, but Debbie actually agrees. This is horrible for everyone involved.
Yes.
Later in the rape hotel, Bernie sees Debbie working on a laptop. Debbie closes the laptop when Bernie approaches, but when Debbie has to go answer a call, fucking Bernie opens up the laptop, sees that Debbie was voggling assisted dying.
Yes.
Debbie could have been doing anything there. So when, there's things on the internet these days. Helen, you wouldn't believe your eyes. So she and Debbie have a conversation about this. Debbie says that she wants to go while she's still able to be Debbie fucking Webster. Bernie explains how Paul had contemplated a similar exit but decided against it in the end and wanted to live life to the full. But Debbie says, yeah, but Paul was still Paul though throughout that. She promises to tell Ronnie when the time was right, but in the meantime she asks Bernie to keep her secret. Asha meets Sienna again and apologises for everything and tells Sienna how much she fancies her and everything, and offers to help Sienna find some assistance with her mum, and Sienna's grateful. On Tuesday, Adina's Rose, Bernie's struggling to deal with this information that she's holding. She keeps Debbie's secret but tells Christina that she doesn't know what she can do to help a friend. Christina recommends talking to this friend. Fucking brilliant, says Bernie, and she buggers off, leaving Christina in charge of Nina's Rolls, just as Ronnie and James order all of the food at once.
Yes.
That was funny.
That was hilarious.
There you go! There you go.
So that's two so far. This
Is it?
because you said it. You said it a little while ago.
Did I?
Yeah.
I'll edit mine out.
No, you won't.
Maybe I will. If I did say it a while ago I wasn't being ironic,
I think you were trying to be
Was I?
ironic.
because I don't remember saying it because something was funny.
Right. Yeah.
But maybe I did. I don't know.
I think you said it just to say it.
I'll often say things just to say it.
That's true.
Yeah, poor Christina. She's trying to do somebody a favour and she ends up doing a shift at Nina's Rolls. Bethany goes to see Debbie at the Rape Hotel and pleads with her to tell Ronnie, who is her husband after all, deserves to know, who loves her dearly, and this encourages Debbie to speak with him. Meanwhile, Ronnie is in the Rovers and overhears Sienna and Asha chatting about how violent Sadie has become because Sienna's got bruises on her arms.
Yes. And her face.
And how Sienna is very hesitant about putting her mum in a home because of her and her brother, who's called Tristan.
Yes. And how Sadie brought them both up single-handedly as a single mum. Sadies are the best.
Aren't they, though? But Sienna's tired with this and she needs help. Asha suggests looking into some respite care, and all this is quite upsetting to Ronnie. He goes to a booth with James and talks about their holiday to Amalfi, and it sounds like it was a bit of a nightmare. In hindsight, says Ronnie, maybe it wasn't a great idea to take someone with dementia to a foreign country where nothing is familiar, where people talk in Italian accents, and the money is all funny. He goes to the Rape Hotel to see Debbie, and she confesses that she's been looking into assisted suicide. He's not as appalled as you might think, but he's super supportive, although he's very much against the idea. He insists he will look after her. He knew what he was signed up for, and he doesn't want her leaving this world a second sooner than necessary. They smooch, and the idea seems to be cancelled. But Debbie goes to see Bernard later, and Christina's there, so Debbie quickly brings her up to speed about the whole tentative plan thing, and she tells them both that she and Ronnie have agreed to pretend that everything's okay, and they're going to bury their heads in the sand about all this. Bernard and Christina look at each other and make faces. Because Debbie's not really given up on the idea, I don't think.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. Not by what she said there. We're just going to bury our heads in the sand. That doesn't seem like she's been swayed. That seems like she's just saying this to keep Ronnie happy for now, but it strikes me that she's still got this plan, and I think it's maybe... It's a difficult story to tell. They did it very well with Haley back in the day, but...
And I feel like, for the most part, they did really well with Paul, when Paul was contemplating this.
But he didn't do it.
Right.
And remember, he should have.
Yes.
And I think the way that dementia goes...
Yeah. Like Debbie said, it's not really me, whereas it was always Paul.
Yeah, it's not really Debbie, so how long is the show going to show that?
Yeah.
It's maybe more convenient for the show to have this happen.
I don't know.
But we're getting to the business end of this, and it's all very distressing.
Yes.
On Wednesday, Asha seems to have taken control of this whole situation with Sienna's mum, and has arranged for Sienna, her brother, and her mum to check out a few places for the respite care, but it all goes horribly wrong when Sadie has an unexpected period of lucidity and freaks the fuck out when she realises where she is, and she begs Sienna not to leave her there. This is obviously fairly traumatic for everyone, but back in the pub, Asha is not discouraged and reckons that they can check again soon, but all this sounds very much like the next time Sadie will be too out of it to notice what's going on, and Sienna doesn't like being pressured into it. And in fact, she doesn't think that she has the time or energy for a relationship, and she dumps Asha's ass there and then.
Yes.
Asha's reasonably pragmatic about the timing of all this and reckons it might be for the best. In the background, Ronnie sees how destructive dementia can be and hopes he can be strong in future with those lovely arms.
Yes.
And that's as far as we get with that this week.
Yes.
So it struck me that the relationship with Sienna really had nothing to do with Asha and Sienna having a relationship.
No.
And had everything to do with
Debbie's...
introducing somebody with dementia to the Debbie storyline.
Somebody with worse dementia.
Right.
Yeah. Which kind of sucks.
It does kind of suck, doesn't it?
Because it's like, oh, yay, an Asha romance story. That'll be good. With two women who already know that they're lesbians.
It's good when you already know something.
Yes.
I mean, that's kind of a spoiler, I guess, but sometimes it works out.
Yeah. I would hope that maybe they try again at some point.
Well, there was an obvious way to do this without needing Sienna's involvement, because Debbie is in the dementia choir.
Right.
And there could have been somebody in the dementia choir.
Right. Yeah. One of her friends just all of a sudden just falls off. It would be like Paul with his friend. What's her name? Who was...
Was it Carol?
No, Carol was the homeless woman.
No, but was there some other Carol?
I can't remember, but
She was a live wire.
She had that thing with Bernie where they were committing credit card fraud and selling televisions.
So, I thought it might have been laptops. There was some. She would. Yeah.
There were a number of
there was
things,
laptops
number of
involved.
electronics. She would buy them on her credit card, and she's like, "I'm dying anyway. I'm never going to pay these,
Right.
but I do need money for care."
Shelley.
Shelley.
It was Shelley.
Shelley.
What a live wire she was.
I liked Shelley. I was sad when she died.
Yeah, she had a spark about her, did old Shelley, didn't she?
But again, like, I think it's telling that when we talk about this story, we have 2 or 3 other storylines that are similar that we can compare it to from the recent history of the show.
Right.
I mean, Haley was, what, 2014?
Very precise. That's right.
So that's still fairly recent history in the show. That's only 12 years ago.
Look at you.
Doing maths.
On the fly.
Yeah. There was a math problem at trivia last night, but it wasn't really a math problem. It's what unit of energy is equal to 1.84 horsepower? And we didn't get it right. We were close. We didn't answer it, but we were close. It's a kilowatt.
Kilowatt.
Stelly said, "Is it a watt?" And we're like, "I don't know if it's a watt." And then I had to go to the bathroom, and it was over while I was in the loo.
That's a very full and descriptive recounting of that question on trivia last night.
Yes. So, yeah, I find it telling that we don't have to go back very far to find other very similar storylines to this. And it's a little disappointing that we keep telling the same stories over and over again. And I guess that's kind of the way soaps are, that there are only so many storylines they can tell.
Yeah, so you spread them out a bit.
Not enough, though.
I mean, I don't think a lot of people were likening the Paul storyline to the Haley storyline. Maybe a little bit.
You did.
Maybe a little bit. But to have the Paul storyline and then the Debbie storyline, I remember us saying this at the time, that it felt very soon after Paul's death that we're going to have another dragged out.
Yes, someone with a chronic illness that's
a
going to
terminal
kill
illness.
them. Yeah.
So, what was that? That was only a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So this does feel far too close to, especially the Paul stuff. But I think
Yeah.
it's probably going to go the Haley way
Right.
more than, and the Paul one should have went that way as well, because
Yeah.
when they ended up with Paul dying, it became a bit of a farce episode of Billy trying to get there in time, and they got delayed eating crisps with David. And it's like, really, this is how we're going to tell us? It was odd.
It was odd.
And I'm really worried that we're going to do something odd with this. But
You better not. Debbie deserves better.
yeah, and Asha deserves a relationship.
Yes. Yes, she does. And it's not like she's going to get back together with Nina because Nina's leaving the show.
And there were a few hints, a few bits of foreshadowing about that this week, I felt.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in another storyline. But let's move on to Betsy's Trauma 2026. On Monday, Ryan is making Betsy something to drink with turmeric in it.
Yes.
Betsy is more interested talking about how Dylan has got in touch wanting to meet. She admits that she has some things that she would like to talk to him about, so Ryan says, well, you should probably do it then. Mum, says Betsy, and she makes a face.
Yes.
Fuck it, says Ryan, and he invites Dylan over, and he leaves them to chat. Dylan asks why she chose not to press charges, and she tells him that, well, it wasn't his fault, and that she wanted to do it, and they'd agreed beforehand. It's still illegal though, says Dylan. Betsy doesn't think Dylan going to prison would help anybody here, and at this, Swain comes in, and she goes fucking mental when she sees Dylan,
freaks the fuck out.
and yells at him to fuck off out of her house. Ryan comes down and tries to tell Swain that Betsy wanted to see Dylan. I don't fucking care, screams Swain. Well, maybe you should, says Ryan.
Yeah. Well done, Ryan.
And Swain is about to shoot Ryan where he stands when Betsy yells that this is enough And will people who claim to love her please stop trying to make her have another stroke? Swain apologises, but Betsy flunches away from her.
Yeah.
I said to you this week how impressed I've been with Sydney Martin playing Betsy.
Yes.
And she is extraordinarily good. And she's been extraordinarily good this week. And that
Yes, I agree.
little moment when she flunches away from Swain, you think, oh, this might have some lasting effects and repercussions here, because
Right.
what Swain is doing here
Is infantilizing her.
and destroying her relationship
Yeah.
with her daughter, because she's not listening to her. And there's a scene that happens later in the week where the camera's just focused on Sydney Martin, and it's Ryan and Swain that are talking in the background.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's-
Like above her.
exactly. And that
Yeah.
was a really well framed
Absolutely. Yeah. It was a good scene.
and all this is adding up. So we've got the stuff that happened last week where Swain just seems to be shouting at people all the time
Yep.
and making decisions for Betsy,
Right.
not asking Betsy what she thinks. And do you know, I
And
think,
not treating her like an adult. And she's an adult now.
and I think Swain has trouble understanding what Betsy's saying. Ryan understands her brilliantly.
Yes.
And I think Carla does for the most part as well.
And
But Swain never looks like she's getting it.
no. Or she doesn't want to get it.
Maybe.
I think that's a biggie here as well.
So on Tuesday, Brodie and Lauren are visiting Betsy, who's having a tough day with her speech and finding everything exhausting and frustrating in equal measure.
Right, yeah, because she's doing these dexterity exercises with little circle pod things on the table, moving them about with her fingers.
When Lauren finds out that she and Dylan saw each other yesterday, she's fucking furious about it and has a go at Ryan. The situation is saved when the speech therapist arrives and Ryan kicks everyone out. Lauren mutters to Brodie that Dylan should be there now and forced to see what he did to Betsy. Well, wait a minute, Lauren. You were pissed off that he was there, and now you want him to be there?
I think he's seen what has occurred to
This
Betsy.
riles Brodie up, so he gets pretty aggressive about it when he sees Dylan and Nina Rose later and requests a square go. You're loving this, says Dylan, which actually seems very true, and he accuses Brodie of always wanting Betsy to himself. He calls Brodie a joke, and Nina has to break them up. At the
And I like that.
At the precinct later, Lauren sees Dylan, and it's her turn to have a go at him. He calls her pathetic, and she slaps his face. She tells him that Betsy will need to learn how to walk again and talk again thanks to him, and she shoves him.
Shoved Mike.
I found it.
Well done.
Shoved Mike.
Shoved Mike. Now that scene played out. There's a little Mandela effect thing happening there. Because I thought Billy
Shoved Mike.
said that. I thought he said it to Paul about Paul shoving Mike. But he didn't. He said it to Paul about Todd shoving Mike, because
Yes.
at this point he thinks it's Todd that.
Shoved Mike.
So when Todd comes over to them in the pub and is all cheery, Billy's very standoffish about him. When
Right.
Billy asks, and when Paul asks, Billy says, "Well, it's because he shoved Mike." So there we go. There's a new noise.
Yay.
That's a great one.
It is a good one.
We will get frequent use out of that.
Rest in peace, Billy.
Don't you worry. So she shoves him and he falls and bangs his head and knocks himself out. Lauren scampers, but luckily Nina is there to call Dylan an ambulance.
Dylan, you're an ambulance.
Nina calls Sean, oh, thank God, and we learn that he has a simple concussion but will be kept overnight. Sean asks what happened and Dylan says that he just tripped. When Sean nips off for a shite, Nina asks if he was sure that he just tripped and it wasn't Brodie what pushed him, but Dylan insists that it wasn't Brodie. And it wasn't Brodie.
Yeah. And Nina very astutely says, oh, so it was someone.
Later,
Well done, Nina.
Lauren sneaks into the room after Sean has gone home and she apologises for hurting Dylan and says that she never meant to do him any harm, and rather than drawing the obvious conclusion here and throwing it back at Lauren, he just tells her to fuck off.
Yeah.
So this is a mirroring of events that the show didn't seem to acknowledge, although Lauren very pointedly said, "I didn't mean to hurt you. It was an accident."
Yes.
Oh well, talking about
interesting.
not meaning
Interesting
to
about-
hurt somebody.
Yes, that's very interesting.
Oh, that's thinking.
What, this?
Don't fucking huff permanent marker, you.
I don't
I'm
think
not dealing with your high ass.
I deal with my high ass all the time.
On Wednesday, Lauren is round visiting Betsy, and Betsy has already heard about the altercation with Dylan. Who cares what Dylan, says Lauren. Me, says Betsy. And so Lauren confesses that she shoved him a bit and he fell over and he's in the hospital and everything, but it's fine. Everything's fine. Betsy doesn't think so and reckons Lauren sought out Dylan to do him harm, and she could lose Frankie if she gets done for this. She points out that Dylan isn't Joel, and Lauren freaks the fuck out about this.
She does. And then Betsy, bless her, just keeps shouting Joel's name at her, which is great.
And Lauren storms out, leaving Betsy alone at home. Meanwhile, Dylan has been discharged and Sean's got a bee in his bonnet about him lying about tripping. On the street, and thanks to a tip-off from Nina, Sean has a go at Brodie for assaulting Dylan, but Dylan's standing right there and says it wasn't Brodie. Lauren and Sally and Joni are all in the vicinity as Brodie has a go at Dylan for being a wife-beater, but credit to Dylan, he's not taking any of Brodie's shit. He points out that Brodie has bragged about choking women in the past, and it's just his stupid dumb luck that none of them have wounded up like Betsy too, and this seems to give everyone pause for thought. Lauren is feeling sheepish about all the arguing with Betsy, so goes to speed dial where Dylan is working a shift, and the two of them make peace with Lauren admitting that Dylan isn't Joel. She goes back.
Thanks, Lauren, for pointing that out.
She goes back to number 6 to see Betsy, but Betsy immediately orders her to leave. Lauren tells her not to be daft and says that she's got these little... I can't remember what she got. It was some fries with a seasoning on it, I think.
Right.
But then Carla comes in having seen Lauren just arrive, and she's furious that Lauren left Betsy on her own. "She's been gone for ages," says Betsy, "and I've pissed myself." And although Lauren is apologetic for losing her fucking mind earlier, Carla turns into total mama bear.
Yes, she does.
And with her massive paw, she swats Lauren out of the house before comforting a very upset Betsy.
Yes.
When Carla says, "Get out,"
Get out.
it sounded like Vuku the Unseen from some kind of exorcist movie. "Get out!" It was kind of like that, a little bit.
Which is nice. It's nice to see Carla play the mama bear, you know.
Now, Carla is
in a
absolutely
good
in the
way.
right to be
Yes.
angry at
Lauren,
Lauren, who
yeah.
had one job.
Yes. Stay here and watch Betsy.
But yeah, it was
great.
good to see her being protective
Yes.
in a healthier way.
In a healthy maternal way that is better than Swain.
Yep. On Thursday, Swain is doing her usual talking to Betsy rather than with Betsy about her wants and needs. Today, she's determined to get Betsy to go outside, and when Ryan points out that maybe she's not ready, Swain asks if Ryan is suddenly Betsy's mother. It's the show's trying to make us hate Swain at the moment, right? It really is. Is it? I think it is. Since when were you Betsy's mother? I mean, she says it kind of jokingly. But I think she really meant it.
Yeah. And it's so weird because, you know, on the one hand, she's like I said, she's really infantilizing Betsy. But then on the other side, she's pushing her to do things that she's not ready for. And it's like, you can't do both.
There was a thing that I don't think I mentioned in my notes. I can't remember if it was this week or last week. She opens some of Betsy's mail because, of course, she does. And it's from the college. And Betsy says, "Well, I can't go now." And Swain says, "Well, we could tell him what happened." Well, not everything that happened.
Right.
Which is a strange thing to make a distinction about, because she's not going to go on the phone and say, "My daughter was supposed to be coming to the college, but she can't because she was choked when she was having sex with her boyfriend and she had a stroke." Nobody wants to listen to that.
No.
Nobody wants to take that call.
No.
But the fact that she mentioned it,
Right.
I mean, you didn't need to mention it.
No, you
basically,
really
is what I'm
didn't.
saying.
You really, really didn't. And also, it doesn't really matter because unless she can take some of her classes online, Betsy's not going to be ready to be walking around a campus.
No, it's August and she can't walk at the moment.
Yeah.
Unaided.
Right.
She can't get to the bathroom herself.
Right.
She's probably not going to be fit for college next month.
Right. Exactly.
Swain is adamant that Lauren is not allowed to cross her threshold or come into the house.
She's barred.
She's barred. That's exactly what I've written. So when Swain is out, Ryan invites Lauren over
I love that.
and tells
Ryan is just like, fuck you. And you're not Betsy's mother shtick.
He invites Lauren over and tells her and Betsy to play nice. Lauren apologises for losing her temper yesterday, and when Betsy points out that thanks to her she pissed herself, Lauren quickly changes the subject to Betsy locking herself away. Lauren knows her stories aren't exactly the same, but says that she felt shame for what happened with her and Joel until she realised that she didn't have to, and she says Betsy doesn't have to either. And I think this was meant to be a huge emotional connection in the moment, but it was neither.
And I don't think Betsy's ashamed, except for like peeing herself.
She doesn't want people talking about her. She's said that before.
And I get that. But she doesn't seem apologetic. She has yet to seem like apologetic for liking erotic asphyxiation, which I will continue to insist upon calling it because it's not something where you're being strangled or choked.
No,
those words are
very loaded.
Yes.
Very violent words.
Right, yes. And not quite, the sort of thing that happens in a sexual context. Or is not supposed to happen in a loving, consensual sort of thing. But I can't even remember what were we talking about?
Coronation Street.
What part? So, I don't know. I don't even remember what it was. We were talking about Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I don't think, it doesn't feel like Betsy is necessarily ashamed of what she's done or ashamed that it was something that she enjoyed doing something that is unconventional.
I honestly don't think any of this is anywhere where Betsy's head's at. Betsy's head's at, I want to be able to talk to Dylan.
Right.
And I want to be able to talk to Dylan about people fucking shouting at me.
Right.
Or people
Dylan,
shouting at him. Or
trying
throwing
to
him out the
throw,
house.
Yeah, or trying to throw him in jail.
And I want people to say that they'll be here when they're going to be here,
Right.
so I don't pish myself sitting on the couch.
Right. And I want people to treat me like the adult that I am and not a wee baby.
But when Lauren comes in and she's briefly apologetic for what happened, but then she quickly turns it around into Betsy's locking herself away. Well, Betsy doesn't think that she's ready to go outside. She was sitting outside in the garden and she was quite happy with that. She was getting fresh air there.
Right, yeah.
But where's she supposed to go?
She can't walk. She can't walk. You just want her to crawl around the street? That can't be hygienic. Are they going to get her a wheelchair?
Maybe she's got a chair. I don't know.
She's got a walker, doesn't she? I think she has a walker. I don't think she has a chair.
But Lauren's very quick to turn this into a conversation about Betsy's shortcomings, about not wanting to do this. And
yeah, and how does Lauren know any of that? Because she wasn't in the room when that happened.
Lauren's thinking, I'm finally acknowledging the Joel connection here.
Yeah.
And this is going to sound like a bit of an apology.
Uh-huh.
We'll just go with that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't really deliver for me what I think it was meant to deliver, which was that Lauren and Betsy are now on good terms again.
Right.
And maybe they are, but the way that scene played out, it felt like Betsy was, what the fuck is she talking about this for?
Right. And it does also seem like Lauren and Dylan are back on good terms as well.
They are.
So that is good.
But once again, the whole, I didn't mean to do this, I didn't mean to hurt you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just ignoring that like it was never said. All right. Next up, another week, another cousin. On Wednesday, in Nina's roles, Sally is cock-a-hoop because she's off to Spain to take the girls 2.0 to visit their gran or something. Who cares? She's coming straight back, though.
Is it Spain or is it Italy?
I thought it was Spain. So Tim will only have an empty for a night. She and Fizz start talking about having a talk about the Betsy situation with her girls, and Fizz doesn't know where to start. Sally has been doing some reading on the matter and has advice where she's not to make eye contact. Back at number 4, Sally tries to instigate a chat about
They're
all this
teenagers, not velociraptors.
with Jodie. Well, it's gorillas that Fizz likened it to, which really was funny. But Jodie has heard about it all from a boy named Malcolm or something who apparently once glued his hand to his face.
Right.
Sally will be taking the girls to their gran or something in Spain, so that's that. On Thursday, Tim randomly picks up his cousin Richie in his taxi, and the two of them hug enthusiastically before heading down memory lane together in Tim's taxi.
With their wee baldy heads.
I think that's how we're supposed to know that they're
That's-
cousins.
Yeah.
They're bald.
Yes.
Later, Tim is at home searching for a go-karting certificate from a holiday in Wales that Richie is sure that he won, but Tim insists that he was the victor. But if Richie was the winner, why would Tim have the certificate?
Right.
But it turns out that he does, but it's Richie's name that's on it.
Oh.
This is so confusing. With Tim's house empty, it's drinks at his place with Steve, Ben, Chesney, Kirk, Michael, and Richie. And anybody else who was on set that day.
How does this grouping make sense? Like, Ben, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Michael?
Chesney?
Michael? But I mean, Michael doesn't really have male friends on the street.
Chesney and Kirk hang out together.
Yes. Chesney and Kirk make sense.
So
But
they can go to Chesney's house.
Chesney and Steve? Kirk kind of gets along with everybody, so
Does anybody like him though? Would anybody invite Kirk along?
they tolerate him.
Especially when he keeps on talking about Tinker. Just fucking let it go. It was more than a year ago.
He's dead now.
Yeah, do you have a penis and are you in today?
And
And if the answer to both those questions is yes,
and do you like beer?
you're going to be required on set.
I guess Michael and Kirk also make sense because they work together.
That's true.
They're two of the
Knicker people.
yes, they're the only two male knicker people. Oh, and Sean.
And Sean, how could you? You counted Sean as a woman.
Girl.
Oh, bitch, please. I don't think I've ever said that out loud before.
You have.
Have I?
Yes.
I've said bitch, please before? Yes. I don't think so.
I don't think so, honey.
I don't think I've said that either.
No, you haven't.
Anyway, this band of ragamuffins is very much second best to the Ladies What Lunch.
But it was still fun.
Was it?
I found it fun. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed Steve and Ben like lying on the couch with their feet on the ottoman together. Being brothers.
Chat turns to Richie and his history in Cyprus, but Richie is super evasive about talking about that and instead prefers to wind up the others, particularly Steve, who eventually snaps at Richie and basically calls him a prick to his face. Which doesn't look like this is the first time Richie's been called a prick to his face.
No.
When everyone's gone, we learn that Richie is in a loveless marriage and is scared to go home, and he's quite envious of Tim's cushy setup, and he wishes that he hadn't pissed off Steve quite so much. Back at number 1, Steve is still pissed off and ranting to Ben about it. Ben puts it down to banter, but Steve doesn't trust his smart arse answers to the Cyprus questions, and he makes a wee muppet face. And that's as far as we get with that. Because Richie says, when asked, what was... Because it's Ben that's asking him about Cyprus, because Ben's
Why not?
interested in Cyprus. I've been to Cyprus, and it is hot. In the summer. I think it's windy at the end of the summer.
Where
I
is
think I can-
Cyprus next to again?
It's in the Mediterranean Sea
Oh, yes.
on the Israel end.
Yes. Nick has Cyprian blood in his ancestry.
So he asks him
Not for me, obviously.
what Cyprus is like,
Uh-huh.
and Richie says it's hot.
Uh-huh.
And Ben asks if he was on the Turkish side or the Greek side, and it was the Greek side.
Uh-huh.
And what took you there anyway? And then he just, nah, I'm not
No.
answering that. So Richie has secrets.
Right. And they're all talking about their crazy Crazy ex-ladies.
And how Chesney has 5 kids.
Right, yes. And Grace gets a mention. So that was nice.
That was a blast from the past, wasn't it?
Right,
Because I thought for a moment he was talking about his kid. About his kid's Glory.
right. Grace and Glory. Mm-hmm. What happened to Grace? She just fucked off? Or was she in jail?
Didn't she go a little bit crazy because she stole a child or something? Oh no, she...
But that was before, and she went
That was
away, and then she
Tiana.
came back. Mm-hmm. She came back, and she was actually pregnant by Michael. And then somebody at the grocery store was racist to her while she was pregnant with Glory.
remember that.
Yep. The security guard claimed that she'd stolen like 8 bags of groceries, which is just stupid.
She was the bitches be crazy character for
Right.
a while, I think.
And then
wasn't
she just left. Left her
She
daughter.
wanted money for her daughter, I think, didn't she?
Well, she should have been getting money from Michael, child support. I don't even remember. It was so long ago.
I seem to remember quite liking her, though.
Yeah. Yeah, she kind of
That revelation that
She kind of
Sienna wasn't
smoothed out.
Michael's
Yes.
or hers, wasn't it? That kid was another couple's altogether. She was just...
The babysitter, the
She was a
nanny.
babysitter,
She was the
yeah.
nanny, yeah.
That was maybe the last time I was genuinely shocked at something that
Happened on the show.
happened because it wasn't spoiled.
No.
Or if it was, I didn't see it. I definitely went when that happened.
Right.
Maybe even hyperventilated a little bit.
Ooh.
All right.
Sexy.
I was reasonably keen to see what secrets Ritchie's got,
Well,
I guess.
wait a half hour.
Our final storyline tonight is Theo No Pulse. On Wednesday, in Nina's roles, Nina's trying to work as many Lionel Ritchie song titles into her interactions with customers as possible, and I am here for that.
Yes.
She's bored out of her tits, and at one point observes that she's been making toasties at Roy's for far too long.
Yes.
Foreshadowing much? Mm-hmm. Anyway, Bethany walks into the flat, and Kit and Jay are doing a deal. Jay has managed to get the data and the text and the GPS metadata out of Gary's phone after all, and he delivers it all to Kit. And I'm like, where did we leave this? We left it with somebody who said that they couldn't get anything from the phones, wasn't it? Or maybe that was a lie.
Or I thought that like this guy could do it, but not the person who's actually on the police force.
It sounded like neither of them could do it, but Jay's managed to do it. It just took him
Yes.
a really long time. When Bethany comes in, Jay is pocketing a wad of cash while Kit is pocketing the phone. When Jay goes, Kit comes clean with Bethany that he's trying to use Gary's phone records to prove that he delayed Sarah from contacting the police, as that might be enough to either get Sarah off, but not like that, or give her a reduced stretch, but not like that either.
Yeah. And I don't believe this in a million years that this is going to let her off.
No!
No.
This is dreadful.
This is not going to let her off. It might lessen her sentence a little bit, but not by much, I would think. This is not going to they're not going to be like, oh, okay, you killed a man, but you didn't mean it. And this mean man stopped you from calling the police. And you, an adult woman, believed him.
This mean man who you called for help
Right. Yeah,
rather than calling the police at the time.
right, exactly.
So I don't know.
None of this is believable, and it's not believable that Kit even remotely thinks that this is going to work.
Kit's on glue most this week, I think. He's huffing something.
He's huffing my green marker.
Maybe. It's potent. I can still smell it.
Really, I can't.
And he's so sure as well.
Yeah,
And it only gets worse from here.
yeah. It bothers me so much.
It really does. And it bothers me that it takes Bethany to point this out to him. But anyway,
Right, yes.
we'll get to it.
Detective Bethany.
Detective Bethany is in and agrees to help. It's a fruitless search, though, as Gary's texts reveal nothing. It's almost like Gary's done this sort of thing before. And he left his phone in the yard when he went to help Sarah. But then Kit stumbles on the idea of checking his GPS records from the next day. If you're stumbling upon that, this is why you're a DC and not a DS. After all, they haven't retrieved the murder weapon yet. Is it weird that Kit calls it the murder weapon when it's his missus what done it?
No, because it's still a murder weapon.
Anyway, this shows Gary down at Gunpoint Docks the day after Theo's death, the perfect place to hide a blunt instrument.
Yes, I think that may be the thing that they are looking for in the water that you saw a glimpse of.
I didn't see anything about people looking in the water.
I thought you did, and you mentioned it when we were talking about Cassie.
No, I think that when they're going to look for this, that's when they find Cassie.
Okay.
And that wasn't my thought, that was somebody else's thought.
Ah.
But I think it's possible, because it would certainly explain why we're given any credence whatsoever to this ridiculous theory from Kit. So Kit is still determined that by getting Gary to tell the cops that he told Sarah to keep Theo's murder a secret, that this will negate the fact that she killed him and she'll get off.
No.
Bethany, a quiet voice of reason here, doesn't know what's in it for Gary to do that, and besides, he was only trying to help Sarah. But Kit can't be told and goes off to Gunpoint Docks, where he absolutely fails to find the murder weapon, which was a piece of scaffolding, let's remember. Meanwhile, Bethany has to listen to Maria in the salon going on about how much they're looking forward to going to Florida and how much Gary needs a break after the year he's had, and this makes Bethany stare thoughtfully into the middle distance for quite some time.
Yes.
Kit sees Gary in the pub and tells him to come over to the flat later. Bethany thinks there's 2 chances of that happening, and one of them is fuck all, but surprise, surprise, Gary shows up.
He does.
Kit lets him know that he knows Gary disposed of the weapon down at Gunpoint Docks and it's only a matter of time before it's found. But if Gary tells the pigs that it was his idea for Sarah to cover up her crucial role in Theo's death, maybe no one finds the weapon and Gary only does a couple of months. He thinks Gary's going to get a couple of months in jail for this? Gary is as baffled as the viewers.
I mean, he could be intentionally lying.
He's perverting the course of justice.
Right.
Certainly.
Yes.
Interfering with an investigation,
And-
possibly.
And, a cop lying to a suspect? No. Really? That doesn't happen.
So I served time for throwing away a pipe, he says, and Sarah gets off scot-free. Plus, you obtained the GPS stuff illegally, which is a brilliant point.
It is.
None of this is
None of this
admissible.
is, yeah.
Confess, says Kit, or I'll break you.
Confess now.
And he gives them till 3 o'clock tomorrow.
Confess, heathen. Bring out your dead.
And that's how we end this week's episodes.
Yes.
This is just such a ridiculous turn. I was like, so this has to be for something else. This has to be for a particular reason, because surely we wouldn't go down this path that the one way that we're going to get Sarah off is by getting Gary to say that he told Sarah not to tell the police. That's a jailable offence, and that gets Sarah off.
It doesn't get Sarah off.
It's just nonsense.
I think maybe Kit is just thinking too much about getting Sarah off, and it's clouding his judgment.
The real way to get Sarah off here is staring everyone in the face. Blame Jodie. Just blame Jodie.
Say that Jodie killed?
Jodie killed Theo and then Jodie twatted Sarah over the head.
That wouldn't explain the blood on the front of her outfit.
It could have fallen off the blunt instrument. Sarah said that herself in the interview.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense because that would have been blood on the back of her top, not the front of her top. And it's on the front of her top. So that doesn't work.
Blood can bounce off things. It doesn't matter. If this works, then my idea works.
It doesn't work. And your idea doesn't work because Sarah already tried that and Swain was having none of it. It would be fun to blame Jodie, but they can't blame Jodie.
I don't see that this flies for a second, and Gary just needs to sit fucking tight, and that's it.
He needs to just go to Florida and never come home.
Right. Or come home when he wants to.
Right, yes, he can enjoy his little harem.
August in Florida is going to be unbearable anyway.
That's true. Especially for a ginger.
Right. And Jake didn't seem that bored one way or the other anyway.
Which is weird. Although that kid is an asshole, so
Seriously.
maybe he just doesn't want to go to the happiest place on earth because he's not happy. He's an asshole.
The most ass-hattery place on earth. The Hooters at Disney. Yeah, just so much of this was
Stupid.
taken up by this stupid idea. Bethany, thankfully, they gave her the line to say, wait a minute, what?
Yeah. Bethany,
How does this
our
work?
voice of reason.
How does this work? When Bethany says, how does this work? Or
I don't think this works.
Gary's never going to go along with this.
Right.
And Kit's so desperate to get her on board for this, he says at one point, if the situation was reversed, Gary would throw Sarah to the wolves. And Bethany says, no, he wouldn't. And I know you don't want to hear this, but no, he would not.
No, he wouldn't. I mean, that's proven by the fact that he showed up at all.
Without his phone, which I don't think I believe either. I mean, this Theo death thing has taken so many stupid twists and turns over the past 4 months. I guess it shouldn't be any surprise that it takes another one, but it feels like we're getting really, really desperate. And this is what I think is contributing to how I felt about this week's shows. There's so much going on here that just
And none
doesn't
of it's
stand
fun.
up to any scrutiny. It's definitely not
None
fun.
of it's fun. Give me a fun storyline.
But
You
between
could give
this
me at
stuff-
least one fun storyline.
This stuff and the Ross stuff.
And the dementia stuff.
We know that Richie's going to be a wrong un. I guess. He looks like he's going to be a wrong un. And then the way that... I don't want to blame Swain all that much, but the way that she's behaving and that's sort of just
yeah.
kind of hard to watch as well.
It is.
Just makes for a really, really difficult
Yeah.
set of episodes
Yeah.
here.
Something needs to be uplifting. Something needs to be fun.
And I think the Men What Lunch was meant to be fun. I honestly didn't find that all that entertaining.
I enjoyed it, but it wasn't fun. You know, it was just fun to see them all together in one room drinking beers. And Steve and Ben finally, like, seeming like they click as brothers, sort of thing. You know, but
they
then
talked about Jim without anybody getting angry.
Right,
So
yes.
that's progress.
But then, you know, they all degenerated into bitches be crazy, and it's like, really? Mm-hmm. Not
Well,
even Nina was fun this week. Usually,
She was fun. The Lionel Ritchie stuff was fun.
okay, yes, that, but also, you know, her breaking up a fight, and
Calling Dylan an ambulance.
yes, and all that stuff. Not fun.
And because she called the ambulance, she has to be in the hospital.
Right.
She hangs about until Sean shows up and then she goes home. I think is what probably happens there. But
No, remember she went in with Sean.
no, but she should have just gone home.
Yes. But she has to remain so that she can say to Dylan,
Right. Oh well, that was the week that was Coronation Street. Helen, tell me, what was your moment of the week?
oh my
That was a
God.
tough one this week.
Yeah. What's your moment of the week?
I think it's Nina's Lionel Ritchie banner.
Are men lying around drinking beers? I did like the men lying around drinking beers.
What were the 3 Lionel Ritchie songs that Nina said?
Well, there's Hello.
Oh, you spotted that one, okay. Because I thought maybe that was the one that's going to slip through.
I mean, that's the most obvious one. Everybody quotes that song when they say hello to people.
Dancing on the Ceiling.
Oh, what a feeling. And I don't know what the
And I
third
can't
one
remember
is.
what the third one was.
It makes it very hard to give that moment of the week. If you can't remember what the third
I
one
can remember
was.
2/3 of it. That's surely worth something. And Kit spots it straight away, which I
Yes.
liked as well.
Yes, because he's a detective, remember?
He knows Motown. That was his major. It's not even Motown.
No. That's why I'm giving you
Anyway.
this look. Anyway, fine. Nina and Lionel Ritchie.
That's it.
Moment of the week.
Our moment of the week.
Our boring moment of the week.
Pointing out that Chesney has 5 kids.
Kirk going on about Tinker.
At least he's not talking about Peanut 24/7 anymore. Oh no, we're not doing moment of the week anymore. We're doing boring moment of the week. Because I was going to say Debbie talking to Ronnie about the fact that she wanted us to do assisted suicide.
Tracy and Ross talking about getting their hole with him in uniform.
That's the gross moment of the week.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really boring. It's just disgusting.
Oh, well, I can sit here all night.
everybody talking about Chesney having 5 kids.
Fair enough. That's our...
Boring moment of the week.
I feel like that's pretty well established at this point, isn't it? Do we really need to point out that Chesney has 5 kids
it's
anymore?
like 6 years. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
We don't ask Twitter anymore
Because fuck Elon Musk.
about what Elon Musk thinks about this week's Coronation Street. Instead, I'm just going to ask you, Helen.
Sure.
Give your score out of 10 for this week's show.
5?
I'm a 5. I'm a 5 this week.
You know what? You know what makes me happy?
What?
You don't do yay, meh, or what is it, boing? I don't know what the third one is.
Yeah, boing. What did boing represent?
I don't know.
The sexiest?
The horny parts.
It was...
It was very, oh yes, it was sleepy, snoring. Because your meh was always terrible, because it should be just meh.
Well, at least you didn't complain about it every fucking week, Helen. Yeah, that's gone. That's off the board now. That's been
It's
replaced.
even off the board?
Yeah,
Is that replaced by Shove and Mike?
It's been replaced very much by...
Shoved Mike.
Yes! I like a Shoved Mike sound bit. That's class.
All right, let's wrap this one up then.
Yes,
this episode
please.
was brought to you with thanks to our friends of the podcast: Daisy, French Helen, Pickles, DT, Wendy, Noel, Canadian Helen, Christy, Shandy, English Victoria, Aurora Yvonne, Heather Westerfield, Brittany Porter, Laurie Anna, Tina, Leah, Tara J, Fiona B, Canadian Jennifer, Josephine Otsingi, Anne Greenwood, Trish R, Sarah Purbrick, Hunker Munker, Darren, the artist formerly known as Seal My Fridge, Pamela, Marsh JT, Tom Ambrose, Christopher Anstey, Terry in LA, Joe T, Corrie Dales, Matthew McInerney, Welsh Emma, Matthew S, Rachel B, Uranium Jennifer, Kathy Monchero, Gary Heatley, Pam but not that one, Una, Amy, Jenny Roll, Ozzy Alley,
Oi, oi, oi.
Chris Horrocks, Cameron from Edmonton, Matt Birch, Library Jen, Jack the Marner, David MacArthur, Saskatchewanian Karina, Rebecca, Upper Danes, Jem, Iona, Anthony L, Charlie, Anthony H, Williams Fan 1982, and Sarah J. Whew! Thank you ever so much, everybody.
Yes.
We appreciate it an awful lot.
Yes, we do.
If you've ever taken a week off and kind of forgotten how to do this, write in to tell us about it. We're the Talk of the Street at gmail.com, and we're at Corrie Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky, or you can reach us the old-fashioned way, the Talk of the Street, PO Box 12, Eaton Rapids, Michigan 48827. Our spoiler show will be available shortly after this one, and in this month's classics, we're talking about Mallorca Part 2. Get access to this exclusive content by becoming a friend of the podcast. Find all the links at corriepodcast.com, and be sure to check out our pop culture sister podcast, The List of Lists.
We were on a break!
Thanks for making it to the end of another episode, and we will be back next week with more
Talk of the Street.
Talk of the Street,
Bye.
y'all. Cheerio.